You can change your life with just one shift in thinking. It sounds simple, right? But what does that really mean? How can a mere change in perspective alter the course of your entire life? It's about seeing the same situation in a new light, finding opportunities where you once saw obstacles and believing in possibilities that seemed out of reach. But it's true. Look at Steve Jobs. He is a prime example of how a shift in thinking can lead to monumental success. His story is not just about technology or business, it's about resilience, vision, and the power of a changed mindset. He went from being kicked out of his own company to becoming a visionary leader. Imagine the emotional turmoil, the sense of loss, and the public scrutiny he faced. Yet he didn't let that define him. Instead, he used it as a stepping stone to greater achievements. How? By changing his mindset. He didn't see his ousting as the end, but as a new beginning. He took time to reflect, to understand his strengths and weaknesses, and to envision a future that was even brighter than his past. We all know Steve Jobs, the genius behind Apple. The man who revolutionized the tech industry with his innovative ideas and relentless pursuit of excellence. But his journey was far from easy. The guy who gave us the iPhone, the iPad, and the Mac. These products have become integral parts of our daily lives, changing the way we communicate, work, and entertain ourselves. But his journey wasn't always smooth sailing. There were rough seas and rocky paths. He faced numerous challenges, both personal and professional, that could have easily derailed his ambitions. In 1985, he was forced out of the company he poured his heart and soul into. This was a devastating blow, one that would have crushed many. But not Jobs. Imagine the sting of that rejection, the feeling of being cast aside, of seeing your life's work taken away. It's a moment that could break anyone's spirit. But here's where the mindset shift comes in. Instead of letting this setback define him, Jobs used it as fuel. He saw it as an opportunity to start anew, to innovate without the constraints of his former role. Instead of letting this setback define him, Jobs used it as fuel. He could have easily thrown in the towel, but he didn't. He chose to see opportunity where others saw failure. He could have easily thrown in the towel, but he didn't. He chose to see opportunity where others saw failure. He founded Next, a company that would later play a crucial role in Apple's resurgence. He chose to see opportunity where others saw failure. And that's what separated him from the pack. His ability to adapt, to see beyond the immediate setbacks and to keep pushing forward is what made him a true visionary, and that's what separated him from the pack. So the next time you face a challenge, remember Steve Jobs. Remember that a shift in thinking can turn obstacles into opportunities and setbacks into comebacks. It's all about perspective. Getting ousted from Apple was a huge blow to Jobs. This wasn't just a company to him. It was his baby. He'd poured his heart and soul into it. The decision to force him out was personal. The media had a field day. Headlines screamed about Apple's downfall. Everyone thought this was the end of Steve Jobs. But they underestimated his resilience. They didn't understand that this setback would become his biggest teacher. Jobs could have easily disappeared into the background. He could have retired early, lived off his Apple earnings. But that wasn't his style. He was driven by a need to create, to innovate, to leave his mark on the world. Instead of giving up, Jobs founded Next, a computer company focused on high-end workstations. These weren't your everyday computers, they were powerful machines designed for universities and businesses. Next was Jobs' chance to start fresh, to apply the lessons he'd learned from Apple. He was determined to create a company that valued innovation and design above all else. Sure, Next didn't achieve the mass-market success of Apple, but it allowed Jobs to refine his vision. It was during this time that Jobs' leadership style evolved. He became a more focused and demanding leader, pushing his team to create products that were not just good, but groundbreaking. This experience would prove invaluable when he eventually returned to Apple. While building Next, Jobs made another pivotal move. He invested in a small animation studio called Pixar. At the time, computer animation was in its infancy, but Jobs saw its potential. He poured his energy and resources into Pixar, nurturing its creative talent. This was about more than just making cartoons. Jobs understood the power of storytelling, the emotional connection that animation could create, and he saw Pixar as a way to revolutionize the entertainment industry. Pixar's success with Toy Story in 1995 was a game-changer. It wasn't just the first fully computer-animated feature film, it was a critical and commercial triumph. This success proved Jobs' instincts right, and showed the world that he hadn't lost his touch. By the late 1990s, Apple was struggling. The company had lost its way, releasing a string of uninspired products. They needed a miracle. They needed Steve Jobs. In a twist of fate, Apple acquired Next in 1997, bringing Jobs back to the company he co-founded. This wasn't just a homecoming. It was a chance for redemption. Jobs was back in the driver's seat, ready to steer Apple back to greatness. It wasn't easy. Jobs had to make tough decisions, cut product lines, and rebuild Apple's identity. But he was on a mission to prove that Apple could still innovate, that it could still captivate the world. Upon returning, Jobs didn't just want to fix Apple, he wanted to revolutionize the tech industry. He understood that technology wasn't just about specs and features, it was about connecting with people on an emotional level. Jobs had a knack for simplifying complex technology, making it accessible to everyone. He believed in creating products that were not only functional but beautiful and intuitive to use. This focus on design and user experience became Apple's hallmark. Under Jobs' leadership, Apple transformed from a struggling computer company into a global tech giant. He fostered a culture of innovation, pushing his team to think differently and challenge the status quo. The iMac, released in 1998, was a turning point for Apple. It marked a significant shift in the company's design philosophy and market strategy. It was a radical departure from the beige boxes that dominated the PC market. These old, uninspired designs were the norm, and they lacked any sense of personality or flair. With its translucent plastic casing and vibrant colors, the iMac was a breath of fresh air. It came in a range of hues like Bondi blue, tangerine, and grape, making it not just a computer but a statement piece. But the iMac was more than just a pretty face. It was designed to be user-friendly, with a simple setup process that made it accessible to everyone, from tech enthusiasts to complete novices. It was a powerful machine that was easy to use and set up. The iMac featured a G3 processor, which was quite advanced for its time, ensuring that it could handle a variety of tasks with ease. It re-energized Apple's brand, attracting a new generation of customers. The iMac's unique design and robust performance made it a hit among young people and professionals alike. The iMac's success proved that Jobs' vision for Apple was on point. His focus on design, simplicity, and user experience resonated with consumers and set the company on a path to future successes. People were hungry for products that were both functional and aesthetically pleasing. The iMac delivered on both fronts, combining cutting-edge technology with eye-catching design. It set the stage for a string of iconic product launches that would solidify Apple's position as a design and technology leader. From the iPod to the iPhone, the iMac was the catalyst that sparked a revolution in consumer electronics. In 2001, Apple introduced the iPod, a portable music player that would revolutionize the way we listen to music. The iPod wasn't the first MP3 player, but it was the first to get it right. It combined sleek design with an intuitive user interface and a massive storage capacity. The iPod was an instant hit, becoming a cultural phenomenon. It wasn't just a gadget, it was a fashion statement. People everywhere, from students to CEOs, were sporting the iconic white earbuds. The iPod's success transformed Apple into a major player in the consumer electronics market. It paved the way for the iPhone and the iPad, cementing Apple's legacy as a true innovator. Steve Jobs' journey, from his ousting from Apple, is one of the most compelling stories in the tech world. It's a tale of a visionary who faced immense challenges and setbacks, only to rise again stronger and more determined. To his triumphant return is a testament to the power of resilience, vision, and a relentless pursuit of excellence. When he came back to Apple, he didn't just return to a company, he returned with a mission to revolutionize the tech industry. He didn't just build a company, he built an empire. Under his leadership, Apple transformed from a struggling business into one of the most valuable and influential companies in the world. Jobs' impact on technology and culture is undeniable. He introduced groundbreaking products like the iPhone, iPad, and MacBook, which have become integral parts of our daily lives. He taught us that technology can be beautiful, intuitive, and even magical. His design philosophy emphasized simplicity and elegance, making complex technology accessible to everyone. He showed us that it's okay to be different, to think differently, and to embrace our unique perspectives. Jobs encouraged innovation and creativity, pushing boundaries and challenging norms. to challenge the status quo. His approach to problem solving and his ability to foresee future trends set him apart as a true pioneer. His legacy extends far beyond the products Apple creates. It's about fostering a culture of innovation and inspiring others to pursue their passions with the same intensity and dedication. It's about the spirit of innovation, the pursuit of excellence, and the drive to make a difference in the world. Jobs' vision continues to influence countless entrepreneurs and innovators, and the belief that anything is possible if you have the courage to dream big. His famous quote, "Stay hungry, stay foolish," resonates with those who dare to dream and strive for greatness. And that's a lesson that will continue to inspire generations to come. Steve Jobs' legacy is not just in the products he created, but in the minds and hearts of those he inspired to think differently and pursue their dreams.